Well, hello, welcome back. Happy Friday to you all. And this is where we do our little prelude to the weekend with our postcards home. So last week we did this beautiful sunset on the riverbank with some boats. And look, I've stamped an upside down. Mind you, I think that's a little bit true to life, isn't it? I've had postcards that have been written this way and upside down. In fact, you know what? Let's write it this way and make the whole thing semi-wrong. So this will be the 15th. So 15th of July. And I'm going to put the scene is certainly an implication of the hot nights we are having. There you go. And then of course you could write the address that way. So we could put, I'm going to address this. This is not a real address, so don't worry that I'm sharing someone's address, because I'm not. I just wanted to fill the whole thing in. There you go. So it's all upside down and back to front and whatever. Look, and I've been, there you go. So that's last week's. Now for this week's, because we've had a couple of weeks where we've had this simple one picture, although I do like the way that looks, I thought we'd do something a little bit more in depth, especially as, whilst having a tidy up, I came across this. Now this is the cover sheet to the flower journal cards by Happiness and Crafting. And you'll remember last year I was design team member for her, and I used this particular kit on one of the projects, and this is the cover sheet. So I thought it'd be quite nice to do not so much a collage, because I'm just looking for my postcard and everything stamped. Not so much a collage, because a collage tends to be when things overlap. So I'm going to do more of a mosaic scene by putting them next to each other. But because they are different shapes and sizes, they will most likely end up as a bit of a collage. Because you can see these ones here are all like dominoes, and then these two are the same size, but that's a different square. So they're all varied. So I'm just going to cut them out, and we're going to have some nice, calm, quiet crafting time gluing them down. And I have brought along my diamond glaze. I thought I might put some of that on just one of them, so it really sort of stands out as different. And I'm going to cheat a little bit here, I think, and I'm going to cut all of these 5 as one. And the reason I want to do that is because it's going to give me the border space in between. So I might change my mind and cut it down in a minute. But you see, that will give me a set amount of space between them, won't it? So, and then I think if I use, what ones do I like? If I use these ones along the bottom, so I'm going to go up here on the crab apple, and then I'm going to go along the top of all of them. I won't, oh, I meant to keep the space, didn't I? Oh well. I won't mention the phrase in a straight line because we all know that don't happen, does it? And also, interestingly, the spaces on these ones is not the same as the spaces on those ones. So oh, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do, I have to trim that a bit smaller because that rose one is positioned slightly higher. So we'll pull that off like that, and then we'll have to, but because I want them to be mosaics, I'm going to move them along like that. Okay, so they're definitely off centre, and I'm actually going to, I think, pull that crab apple. See, I'm just looking at the amount of gaps, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut off this blue one because it's, as it were, my least favourite of all the images, and then I'm going to put that right on the edge there, like that. I can't even see, but anyway. And then what else? I love this daisy one, so we're definitely going to use this daisy one. So trim that down there, along there, and all the way round. So we've only got the spaces in the sides, not really. And of course that is too big, but I quite like that that's too big, because then I'm gonna have to cut all of these down, so because we need a little bit at the bottom. So I'm going to cut these big ones off the bottom here, and then these four in the middle here appear to be the same size, so we'll cut those down like so. Let's trim that properly now. And the side edge. Like so. Okay. And these are going to get their heads chopped off, aren't they? Take that daisy out for a minute, and then I'm going to line them up like that, and then we'll come along and we'll fill in the gaps. So I hope that wasn't all hanging off the screen and you didn't see that, but it doesn't really matter because I was just estimating where I wanted to put things. So I've got this first one of the 5, and I'm going to put this right in this top corner, running down that side, and get that. Oops, we've got a crease. Can't have a crease in it, can we? That's ridiculous. There we go. So we've got that one at the top. Okay, this is the one to go in the middle, and get a bit of glue under that corner. And now this is where we're going to start chopping bits around, and it becomes a mix of a mosaic and a collage, because this one is going to sit on that edge there, okay, like that. And then these ones are going to come back on that edge there. You're only really going to get the words, not the pictures, but that's okay. Put glue on the back, Claire, not on the front. Right, so we're going to line it up on the edge and up to the line above, like so. We've got quite a lot to trim off, but that's just the way things are. If I leave that upside down, the glue will dry and I can use them on something else. So we've got the titles at the bottom, the pictures here. So now we need to fill in the spaces. Now this one, I really wanted to put that one in there, but I've got to trim a bit. So let's trim that bit off the bottom. Have I made that the right size? Slightly more, tiny little bit. And now that is going to sit in there. So we only really need to glue that half. Whoops, knocked me glaze bottle over. That one will go there. And then we've got a card of flowers. That one goes there. We just need to do these two bits. So we need a tall one to go there, which I think is probably going to be this passion flower. That looks like a tall one to go on the edge. And then we're going to need a little one. Does that fit there? Yeah. Going to need a little one for that bottom corner. So I'm going to trim this and leave the white space because we've got all the white spaces, and then that will slot in there like that, and we can trim off what we need to trim off. So I'll do that side. It's nice piecing things together like this. Simple but effective. Like that one. Yeah, and we just need to do this bottom corner. So let me see what. Let's cut that bit off. And because we've got the tops there, I feel like I want the bottoms. So I'm actually wondering now if we bring back these ones and put those ones on that corner. It's only going to take two though, isn't it? So if I trim up there, that can sit there like that. So we'll just re-glue the top bit. And as I say, this sheet is a Happiness in Crafting cover sheet for a kit, but obviously you could use any same themed images for this. It's gone a bit curly where it's wet from the glue. Oops. And in that corner. Like that. Okay. So let's get rid of all our bits and pieces. Have a little tidy up as we go. It's always a good thing, isn't it? Right, I'm going to put them over there out the way. Let's have a look. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm happy with that. Now, do you know what? The one that I want to glaze is obviously the poppy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my stamping on the back, and then I'm going to glaze it because it will need to sit flat and dry for a while, won't it? So let's do our stamping on the back. And today I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black because my archival one is starting to dry out. I need to look at getting a new one really, but then I found this in a drawer which I believe was Happy Mail, so I thought I would use this, and then when this one's run out, trying to be super cost effective, that's when I'll get a new archival. So we've got our postcard on there. Okay, we've got a bit of residue ink, but now I struggle with this because I've actually sealed up my lid, so it's a bit of an issue, so we have to undo the whole thing, and even that's not easy. I don't even know if I can get it open anymore. I might have to get hubby on it. Yeah, no, I don't think I can get it open. I think it's like glued itself shut. Shouldn't really do that on camera, should I? Show you cutting my hands off. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like such a bad design because it's there you go. Looks like I've got it open. Let's take that right off if I can. I think when I turn the camera off I'm going to have to take it all apart and try and work out a new storage system for this. But anyway, in the meantime, what I want is my little spreader thing. This is actually my pokey tool, but it's got a little tiny sort of almost palette knife on the back. And what I'm going to do, stop curling over, is, now I'm sure many of you are better at this than I am. I like to use quite a lot, and that is probably my problem. And then I just want to spread it out to make sure it's covering the whole of this poppy one, and pop these bubbles. We don't want bubbles in it. And this of course is where really resin has taken over, but I can't warrant the investment in resin when I've still got quite a big bottle of this, so we've got to use it up, and then when we've used it up we can think about some resin. Now a little bit more on there because this is a combination of wanting a raised piece and a shiny glossy piece. So There we go. I'm just going to pop. There's a couple of bubbles there that I just need to pop. Why can you never pop them? There we go. I'm just going to leave that now for a good 24 hours to dry off and give me a beautiful raised shiny one. I think I've got all the edge, and of course when we write on it next week you'll see the finished item. So as always, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed your prelude to the weekend. Stay safe. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye for now.